Hi, beautiful souls. So I was guided. Well, someone asked before for me to add different things to my YouTube. One of them was reading. Like they would want to listen to me read, which I think is funny. But um, then the spirit guided me. I have some books I've been wanting to read, but spirit guided me to read them with you guys, so I could share it with you. So in case you don't have the books, or um, maybe you don't like to read, you would rather listen to it. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to start with the Four Agreements. That's the first book I'm going to start with. I have the Fifth Agreement, and then I have some other books too that I would like to read as well. But we're going to start with this one. This is the first one out of the two of that series. But like I said, there's some other ones I would like to share with you all too. But first we're going to start with this, and I'm going to start with the first part, which is the Toltec. I'll start in a second, but yeah, I'm going to read the Toltec and the Smoky Mirror, which is the introduction. That's what I'm going to start with today. And then tomorrow, or maybe even later, I might be able to upload, to read and upload that, do chapter 1. The chapters are a tad long. Well, not really. It's like 25 pages. So it might only be one chapter at a time. I'm not really sure. We're going to just play it by ear and see. But, so this is what we're starting with today. The Four Agreements, which is a Toltec wisdom book, and Don Miguel Ruiz is the author. It's a practical guide to personal freedom. I'm sure some of you have heard about it. So, the Toltec. Thousands of years ago, the Toltec were known throughout southern Mexico as women and men of knowledge. Anthropologists have spoken of the Toltec as a nation or a race, but in fact, the Toltec were scientists and artists who formed a society to explore and conserve the spiritual knowledge and practices of the ancient ones. They came together as masters and students at my son, I'm sorry. Then students at I don't know this word. Teotihuacan. I messed that up horribly, I'm sorry. The ancient city of pyramids outside Mexico City, known as the place where man becomes God. Over the millennia, the Nagels were forced to conceal the ancestral wisdom and maintain its existence in obscurity. European conquest, coupled with rampant misuse of personal power by a few of the apprentices, made it necessary to shield the knowledge from those who were not prepared to use it wisely or who might intentionally misuse it for personal gain. Fortunately, the esoteric Toltec knowledge was embodied and passed on through generations by different lineages of Nagels. Though it remained veiled in secrecy for hundreds of years, ancient prophecies foretold the coming of an age when it would be necessary to return the wisdom to the people. Now Don Miguel Ruiz, a Nagel from the Eagle Knight lineage, has been guided to share with us the powerful teachings of the Toltec. Toltec knowledge arises from the same essential unity of truth as all the sacred esoteric traditions found around the world. Though it is not a religion, it honors all the spiritual masters who have taught on the earth. While it does embrace spirit, it is most accurately described as a way of life, distinguished by the ready accessibility of happiness and love. Introduction: The Smoky Mirror. 3,000 years ago, there was a human just like you and me who lived near a city surrounded by mountains. The human was studying to become a medicine man, to learn the knowledge of his ancestors, but he didn't completely agree with everything he was learning. In his heart, he felt there must be something more. One day, as he slept in a cave, he dreamed that he saw his own body sleeping. He came out of the cave on the night of a new moon. The sky was clear, and he could see millions of stars. Then something happened inside of him that transformed his life forever. He looked at his hands, he felt his body, and he heard his own voice say, "I am made of light. I am made of stars." He looked at the stars again, and he realized that it's not the stars that create light, but rather light that creates the stars. Everything is made of light, he said, and the space in between isn't empty. And he knew that everything that exists in one living being, and that light is the messenger of life. Because it is alive, it contains all information. Then he realized that although he was made of stars, he was not those stars. I am in between the stars, he thought. So he called the stars the tonal, and the light between the stars the nagal. And he knew that what created the harmony and space between the two is life or intent. Without life, the tonal and the nagal could not exist. Life is the force of the absolute, the supreme, the creator who creates everything. This is what he discovered. Everything in existence is a manifestation of the one living being we call God. Everything is God, and he came into the conclusion that human perception is merely light perceiving light. He also saw that matter is a mirror. Everything is a mirror that reflects light and creates images of that light. And the world of illusion, the dream, is just like smoke, which doesn't allow us to see what we really are. The real us is pure love, pure light, he said. This realization changed his life. Once he knew what he really was, he looked around at other humans and the rest of nature, and he was amazed at what he saw. He saw himself in everything, in every human, in every animal, in every tree, in the water, in the rain, in the clouds, in the earth. And he saw that life mixed the tonal and the nagal in different ways to create billions of manifestations of life. In those few moments, he comprehended everything. He was very excited, and his heart was filled with peace. He could hardly wait to tell his people what he had discovered, but there were no words to explain it. He tried to tell the others, but they could not understand. They could see that he had changed, that something beautiful was radiating from his eyes and his voice. They noticed that he could no longer have judgment about anything or anyone. He was no longer like anyone else. He could understand everyone very well, but no one could understand him. I feel that. They believed that he was an incarnation of God, and he smiled when he heard this, and he said, "It is true. I am God, but you are also God. We are the same, you and I. We are images of light. We are God." But still the people didn't understand him. He had discovered that he was a mirror for the rest of the people, a mirror in which he could see himself. Everyone is a mirror. He said he saw himself in everyone, but nobody saw him as themselves. And he realized that everyone was dreaming, but without awareness, without knowing what they really are. They couldn't see him as themselves because there was a wall of fog or smoke between the mirrors. And that wall of fog was made by the interpretation of images of light, the dream of humans. Then he knew that he would soon forget all that he had learned. He wanted to remember all the visions he had had, so he decided to call himself the smoky mirror, so that he would always know that matter is a mirror, and the smoke in between is what keeps us from knowing what we are, he said. I am the smoky mirror because I am looking at myself and all of you. But we don't recognize each other because of the smoke in between us. That smoke is the dream, and the mirror is you, the dreamer. Living is easy with eyes closed, misunderstanding all you see. John Lennon. So that was the first couple parts. And then the next part is chapter 1. Chapter 1 is the domestication and the dream of the planet. And like I said, that's about 25 pages. I will be back on later to record that and read that for you all. I'm really excited that Spirit guided me to do it this way, because it will get me going on reading my books, and I will share them with all of you. Like I said, some people don't like to read, and they might just want to listen. So it's Spirit guided, and that's what I like to do. I go with what Spirit guides. So I love you guys, and I can't wait to dive into these more. I already read a little bit of this one before, but I started at the beginning so I could share it with you guys. But yes, I love you, and let me know what you think down below. And we will start on the first chapter later. Have a good day.